All right, I guess I'm live. I started this stream away from my work, and I don't know what the deal was the last few days. I really don't. I swear my bill is paid. Oh, I'm not gonna pull out here. But yeah, I just went and got some gas because my gas light was on. How's everybody doing? Tommy Stiggs, Spencer, how you doing? Sven, what's happening? Hope you guys are. Hope you guys. Oh, there he is. What's up, Stiggs? Yeah, man. I scheduled it for 5:15. I think I did it a little after 4 a.m. And just like always, the trucks that are supposed to be showing up later show up right before I have to leave, so I can't not start them for my relief crew. So I had a truck full of yams come in. I had to unload that, and when my relief came in right around 10 after 5, I was unloading a whole truck full of avocados for Wegmans. So, but yeah, so that's weird. That's the weird thing with me is it can go either way with me. I can schedule a show for I should have just did it for 5:30, and it's probably what I'll stick to now is 5:30 because I don't know. But towards summertime when it's our real busy season, I might have to start later or not do as many shows because in the summertime that's when I put most of my heavy hours in. So we get a lot more people coming in um, for like the local markets. So these guys come in and they buy stuff and they make their own stands at the local markets and they sell to the public. So we have to not only serve or do our orders for all of our grocery stores and restaurants. Now we got to serve all these people for the stands and stuff. So it gets pretty intense in the summertime, and then plus doing receiving and everything else. We do a lot of our produce switches to the local farmers during the summer. We don't get them from Florida or California so much anymore, Mexico even. We get a lot of the peppers and squash and cabbage and stuff from the local people. So yeah, right, Stiggs. Yeah, right. That's the thing too. That's one thing. I'll schedule my show, and if there might be a time or two where I start real late or don't start at all, I can't neglect work. I don't want to get in trouble for YouTube. No offense. So I smell something. I don't know if it's in the air from something else or it smells like coolant. I hope to God it ain't my car. But so what's going on? What is happening? What is the deal? It was a pretty light night for us. We got our orders done pretty fast, and then we had a little bit of downtime, so we did some cleaning, and then like I said, right before I was about to leave, all the trucks started pulling up. So the avocado truck was a day late, so I had to make him priority and start that one right away. So, and those you got to get right in the cooler. You can't leave them out. If you guys hear a whole bunch of noise, forgive me. I still got a lot of my DJ equipment in my van here with me, and there's stuff banging around behind me. So if you hear a lot of background noise, I apologize. My photo booth, it's steel. The machine is steel, and it's loud and it clangs. So, but this Friday night, I'll be out DJing, and I'll have the photo booth with me. It's for a really, really important event around here in Buffalo. It's actually a relative of mine who founded this company, or this organization, I should say. It's called the Winged Flights of Hope. Um, And what they do is, my cousin is actually a pilot, and he flies sick people, kids, adults, everybody, all over the Northeast region for medical care, whether it's for cancer or for anything for that matter, for free. So, they have all these, fundraisers throughout the year. Um, they have all these fundraisers throughout the year to raise money for, for the pilots and for, the airplanes and the fuel and, all that stuff. So I'll be doing, they do an auction there, to raise money. And, and after that's all over with, after, the dinner, they got to pay for their dinner, and then they got to pay, they want to auction off things and bid on things. They can do that too. And, after that, they have an after party for the most part, and I'll be the man in charge of the music and the photo booth. So I got, the one girl who helps me out. She's gonna, and we get to dress up. So I'll be in full tuxedo. It's kind of a, a black tie event. All the VIPs in Erie County will be there. All the high ups, all the, I don't know, I don't want to say anything else, but it should be fun, and it's I'll tell you what, it's going to be a hell of a way, an opportunity for me to network, with some lawyers and, sheriffs and, a lot of judges. I mean, there's going to be a lot of important people there in this county, so it'll be a really nice opportunity to network, for my business, So I kind of pumped the brakes on my side business over the last couple of years since I went back to work during the pandemic. I had to get a full-time job for benefits, or else I would just do it full-time. I got all the equipment to start out doing it full-time again. It's just, I can't, we need benefits. So I got it. Anybody chatting away here? I think it's like Stiggs and Spencer are the only one chatting away here. Unless I'm not seeing things, and I'm driving too. God, man, that's loud. I'm sorry, guys, if you could hear that in the back. It's really noisy. I don't know if I just made it worse or what. But yeah, Yankees isn't with me today. He's doing that whole shift switch, so he's taking those few days off, and then he's got to get adjusted to the time that his shift start again. So, all right, cool, Stakes. Yeah, so it's gonna be fun, and actually it's gonna be an older crowd. It's gonna be an older crowd on Friday. So I'm actually kind of pumped for that. I'll be, I don't gotta play a lot of the newer crap music. So this guy's doing 45 miles an hour on the thruway. Model, that is bad. I left him in the dust with this sweet minivan. So yeah, so I gotta get home and get everybody up, like, the morning routine, get everybody to school, and I'm in desperate need of a haircut. I like my hair short at all times, especially during wedding season. I get my hair cut like every 2 weeks. I like it high and tight and down to the skin, more or less, in some parts. But yeah, I got to get my tuxedo dry cleaned, everything. So I got a lot of stuff to do to prepare for this, actually. So yeah, Stiggs, I'll be fancy this weekend. I'll take a picture and post it. I clean up all right. Right now I'm in my warehouse gear and in need of a shave, and my hands are crusty, and so I gotta doll myself up Friday for sure. So it's gonna be fun. I'm actually all good, Spence. Glad you can hear me. I'm on Bluetooth right now. I think I had the headphones in the other day. I don't know if that helped or anything, if I sounded better the last time I was on, but fuck, I gotta get over here. Oh, that was a bump. Yeah, I got a good amount of weight behind, with me. Got my speakers, my subwoofer, my photo booth. I got everything. Got a good amount of weight on me right now, so bumps are a little more stiff, for the lack of a better. But but yeah, every time, I got, most of the time by this year, I'm pretty booked throughout the year, and I try to keep, one weekend a month open, for my family, obviously, if we can go away or if we, want to do anything together. But this year, with buying the house, I kind of didn't advertise and didn't do as much advertising and bookings. But now it's like every time I think I'm like, oh man, I don't feel like I booked enough. I'm getting calls and texts and stuff, and I'm just starting to book up all over again. So no complaints on this end. I have good problems for the most part. Don, how's it going? What's happening? Again, I apologize. Can you guys hear that rattling back there? Normally I put like a cushion underneath the machine there that's got like a door on the back of it for me to work on the computer inside of the machine, and sometimes that door rattles when I hit bumps. Plus the roads in Buffalo suck. So but the good thing is where I'm going. Like I said, my relatives own the venue, and I'm their first. When people want to get married there, they need a DJ or photo booth, lighting, whatever. That's the thing we have worked out, is that I'm their first. You know, I'm the first person that people call. A bride and groom will call and see if I'm available for that date. But they actually have their own sound system in there, and it cranks. It's actually really good. So as far as like the DJ stuff goes, I just got to bring my mixer and my laptop, and I could hook into their system. So I don't got to bring all my speakers, which is great. And then obviously I got to bring the photo booth, which isn't all that much to haul. So it'd probably be a quick in and out for me as far as setting up and tearing down. So I can't complain. Sounds like Yankees moaning and groaning. Yeah, the squealing, the squeaking. Yeah. Yeah. It's weird. It's weird because he's always up here on the show with me, so it's never real quiet. So if anybody tells you that this is easy to do and then keep people entertained and here, it's not as easy as you think. It's definitely not as easy as you think. But like right now, I'm driving. One of one of these one of these days, once I get stuff set up in the house and in the summertime or whatever, I'll go on later in the evening or late at night or something, and I can probably give a better show, more entertaining show. Get a couple drinks in me and start verbally having fun. But yeah, I see that, Don. I shouldn't say that. Yeah, if I'm not very entertaining, at least you guys break balls in the chat. That's good. That's good. That's one good thing about coming home at this hour, that there is nobody on the road. It's great. There's no one on the road. When I first started my job that I'm at now, I used to work from 7 at night till 4 in the morning. And there was really nobody on the road at 4 in the morning. I think I was telling Thindu, we were talking last night on the phone shortly when I was driving to work, and on Christmas Eve, a couple of years back, it was 50 degrees here, and there was still snow on the ground, but nothing, no accumulation or anything, just some patches here and there. So it was like 50 degrees on Christmas Eve morning. It was like I just left work. It was a little after 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm driving down the thruway, and I get off on the 198 there, and you go up the ramp, and then it starts to curve a little bit, and there was a motorcycle laying in the street. like just there's nobody on the motorcycle. The light was still on, and the bike wasn't running, but some fluid was coming out, and I immediately got sick to my stomach because I crashed my crotch rocket when I was 24 years old, and I almost got cut in half by a guardrail, and I got extremely lucky. That's what happens when you're a complete idiot and you don't know the road. So it was my own fault. I'll totally own it. It's totally my fault why I crashed. But so this motorcycle is laying in the middle of the street, so I pull over, and now this is a highway, so it's not the safest to pull over and check things out either. Yeah, Don, I do have to set everything up. Yep, but it's real easy. The time-consuming part is hiding the wires and stuff like that. Anyway, so yeah, I see this motorcycle. So I pull over and I get out, and I'm looking around, and I don't know if this guy who was driving the motorcycle, just ditched the bike and left it there, or if he went over the bridge because it was on an on-ramp. It was and it was at least a 30-foot drop. So I don't know if the guy's under me on this bridge, or if he just said screw the bike and get his friends out of there, and or get one of his friends and get out of there. Just worry, the bike was a piece of shit. Anyways, the bike was like an older like sport like crotch rocket, but it was old. It was probably at least 20 years old. It looked nothing like the ones they have, or even the one I had didn't even look nowhere near it. But it had the tires weren't really wide, but even so, it was about 50 degrees, and there was there had been salt on the roads before, and that's still pretty cold for a tire to try to stick to the street. So if he went around that corner, instead of going around the corner, he went straight into the guardrail, and it ejected him over the bridge. So I called 911, and they told me I didn't really need to stay there because the traffic was going to start increasing. I was yelling over each side of the bridge, totally screaming, trying to get any kind of response, anything, and I didn't get nothing. I didn't get no response at all. So it turned out, I have a friend who's a Buffalo detective, and let me rewind here. I went home and I told my wife about it because I was pretty shook up about it. I woke her up and told her about it. So I laid down, and by the time I woke up, there was an article out on Facebook that there was an accident, and the guy died. So what wound up happening is, like I said, instead of trying to hit that corner real hard and making that left turn at curve, the bike must have went straight, hit the guardrail. He shot over the bridge. The bike just kept going. So where the bike stopped and where I stopped, it was ghost riding for probably at least 100 yards before it stopped and fell down. So from what I hear, I called a friend who was a Buffalo detective, and somehow, some way, dude lost his head on the way down. So he fell at least, like I said, about 20 to 30 feet, and he was decapitated when they found him. He was a young kid. I read about it. He was probably about 25 years old. And I looked it up. I looked up his name, and you could see all his relatives were, devastated, and they were, putting all these posts with his pictures and this and that. And, I put on the post, I'm like, I'm the guy who called the police and called the paramedic, or called 911. And, I tried everything I could. I tried screaming over the bridge. I had a whole bunch of comments thanking me and this and that. I mean, I don't really feel like I did much, but obviously if I would have heard him say anything or whatever, I was there, and I guarantee I just missed it. I just missed it because the headlight in the motorcycle was still on, and there was fluid leaking out. If the motor was, still running, I would have shut it off. I owned a motorcycle for years. I had my license and everything. But man, that shook me for that whole holiday, man. That whole week, man, I was shook because I've been there. I've crashed my motorcycle and made it. So, and now it's like every time I drive that route every day to go home, even still. And, I think about it every time I go by there. It's crazy, It's you know, it's a tragedy, you know. And the guy was young, and he was probably just trying to enjoy a really nice little day with his motorcycle, you know, in the middle of winter, and you know, the bike broke loose on him, and he paid with his life. So it's very, very sad. And I can't tell you how many times I was doing wheelies over 100 miles an hour, you know, on my motorcycle. Like you know, I did a lot of really dumb shit that I would have been splattered if it would have been one pothole on the road, or a car pull out in front of me. Like I did a lot of dumb shit when I was young on that motorcycle, you know. But I'll tell you what, it was a blast doing it. It was a good time. I got pictures of all that stuff I could show you guys. But yeah, and you know, it is devastating. And the thing is, like, the next year, I just randomly, you know, I remembered the name of the guy who passed away, and I typed him in Facebook, and sure enough, they had a memorial for him. And now when I go to work, when I go over that bridge going into work, you could see down. I'm assuming it's where he finally landed, and there's flowers down there all the time. So, and there's, you know, right by the one bridge pillar, the concrete pillar there, there's flowers there all the time. So, I mean, they visit. Obviously, they must visit that place. His family, you know. But it just, you know, he might have been going to work or getting out of work and feeling good. The weather's nice, and you just want to take his bike for a rip. And you know, unfortunately, his tires couldn't handle the you know, the cold pavement, or you know, it could be anything. It could be 90 degrees out. All right, bus, what are you doing? Have a Metro bus with its blinker on that it's supposed to be going? All right. Wow. Sorry, guys. That's the thing. It could be 90 degrees out, and you hit a patch of pebbles on your motorcycle, or grass clippings. Grass clippings are even worse. So if you people, you know, make sure when you cut your lawn by the road, face the blower, you know, toward the yard, not the street, because little grass clippings like that alone could make you wipe out. Totally make you wipe out. There's nothing you can do about it. The back end just comes out, and you go for a nice ride, get road rash, pebbles in your skin. Yeah. I got a big old scar across my belly from when the guardrail got me. Big old scar. And I wound up promising. I called my mother because I didn't want her getting, because I was okay. I mean, I was, by the time my brother was with me and his friends, by the time they got back to me, I had all my stuff ripped off and I was bleeding, and I was trying to rip out my motorcycle from under the guardrail. But I promised my mom from the stretcher after I called, you know, they called the paramedics, that I wouldn't buy another motorcycle. So, and I never did buy another motorcycle. And when I opened my pizzeria, all my friends used to come down. They used to come down with the bikes and eat, stop and have lunch or dinner. And, you know, they'd be like, come on, you know, you want to take it for a ride. And man, after a year or two after I didn't ride all the time, and I would take a bike for a rip, man, it used to scare the shit out of me. And I used to be so brave and so crazy on them things. And now I'm like terrified of them. Like I got a little, like I think I said on the show the other day, I rebuilt a little mini bike and took the Governor out, and it does 30 miles an hour. That's my adrenaline rush for that now. So, yeah, it's, but you know, one by one, we were going down, you know, one by one, you know, my cousin had a guy pull out in front of him, and he broke his leg in about 17 spots. He hasn't been the same since. I had another guy, you know, I had a couple people I know were killed on him. You know, we all ride together in packs and bunches, and, you know, little by little, one of us, we were going down. You know, it's, Yeah, I hear you, Stiggs, and especially today. I don't think I could. I don't think I could ride today because, and like, even if my son or say my daughter wanted to get a motorcycle, I would really try to not, I would really try to convince them not to, because it's the other people, it's the other drivers, especially with this texting and you know, um, and all this stuff. They don't pay attention. Nobody pays attention anymore. They're too busy, on their phones and not even that. The new cars that they make, the dashboards, the screens are so gigantic. It's like having a television in your car, and you can't even, you know what I mean? They're distracted with that too. Even if they're looking at the GPS, on a motorcycle, with one little headlight pulls out or is near you, it's scary. You know what I mean? It's totally scary. I wouldn't buy it. If somebody gave me a motorcycle right now, I probably wouldn't ride it. You know what I mean? I'd probably get rid of it. I would probably ride a dirt bike and jump and do stupid shit on a dirt track or something, or trails, but that'd be about it. I don't think my brother-in-law rides still. And his whole thing is, when it's my time, it's my time, and he's got a big cruiser and I could take that whenever I want. He told me, he's like, you can have the bike and take it whenever you want. But I thought about taking my wife for motorcycle rides a bunch of times. But you know what? Honestly, I haven't like constantly ridden in so long. I wouldn't want something happen to us. I couldn't live with myself. So we'll just keep it on four wheels for now. What do we got here, Don? Oh my God, that's crazy. Yeah, you know what? My cousin raced go-karts when we were growing up, and he was at a Grand Nationals. He was good. He was real good. And there was this hairpin turn, man, and a lot of these guys were flying around the corner trying to, uh, trying to, gain any kind of ground they can. They wouldn't slow down. These dudes were hitting the wall left and right, and the one guy had a bone go right out of his arm. I forget what the term they call that is, but his forearm, his arm bone or whatever, sticking right out of his wrist. It was disgusting. Oh, that's terrible, Stiggs. I'm sorry to hear that, man. That's rough. Like I said, I know a couple people who passed away because of motorcycles. Couple that were just doing dumb shit, and you know, they paid for it, and then other people that, other drivers hit them, or, it's, there's no protection on it. None. You could have all the riding gear in the world, and it ain't going to protect your bones. I wound up, oh man, I forgot what I was going to say. I don't know. It'll come back to me. Yeah. Yeah, I hear you there, Don. It's, that kind of stuff is, especially like racing and stuff like that. It's stuff's extreme, man. People push it to the limits. It's adrenaline rush. I love drag racing. I used to drag race my old car, my old little Honda Civic I had souped up. I used to take that down the track. That was fun. But shit can happen with that too. You know what I mean? But at least I knew I had I should have had a roll cage in the car, but at least I'm somewhat more protected. But I got lucky, because when the police, the sheriffs came, when I crashed, the sheriffs came and, obviously asking me if I was all right, this, that. And they said, you're lucky because we lost somebody at this corner the week before. So a week before that happened, a kid got killed on that same corner. And there's crashes all the time. There's people who crash their cars on that damn corner where I crashed. I didn't know it. I didn't know the corner. I was only in that area a couple different times. And I remember the one time I stayed way behind because I didn't know the road. So when the guys in front of me were hauling ass, I was trying to keep up. They went down those roads all the time. I didn't. And yeah, man, it was too late for me. I couldn't slow down in enough time. I was done. I knew it. I still remember every single skidding noise, and I remember the noise when I hit the guardrail. I remember everything. A lot of people, sometimes when they get in crashes or something happens, they don't remember stuff. That's probably a good thing for the most part. But I remember everything. I was so pissed off. I ripped my helmet. I threw it about 100 feet, not literally, but threw my helmet. I took off my coat, uh, my gloves, everything. I was fucking throwing everything all over the place, and I was so pissed off because the bike was wedged under the guardrail. I was trying to rip it out. The adrenaline was times a million. So I was trying to rip the bike out, wedged under the guardrail, and when they came back, I had to try to calm myself down. Oh, that's cool, Don. That's awesome. Yeah, that's super cool. Yeah, I just had a little racer, little Honda Civic that it was more of a show car than a go car. You know what I mean? It was fast for what it was, but like, I didn't do anything crazy to it. And that's the thing, like, people would try to race my car all the time, and it's like there's no reason. I got a you know a Yamaha R6. I'll race you. I'll race anything with that. You know what I mean? So I had a crotch rocket, so I didn't race. If anybody wanted to race, I'd be like, you know what, you're gonna beat this car. Let me go grab my motorcycle. So yeah, it's fun, and it's funny, Don, because like if you look online, these dudes like bore out these Honda clone engines. They're called Predators, and Harbor Freight sells them for like $100, and they like port and polish, and like they do all this crazy stuff with the flywheel, and they make these 6 horsepower engines, like 22 horsepower, and they take them down to like the 8 mile tracks, and they just race on the street. They have or they have like races in the woods, like trail races, like the with the pandemic, mini bikes got hot again. They got crazy. Oh my god. My cousin, before he ended, he had an engine that ran on alcohol, and that thing was absolutely insanely fast. It was a full alcohol engine, but he never got into like the 2 cycles with the shifter carts or anything like that. He never got into that. He stopped doing that before all that stuff got crazy. But those shifter carts are like mini Formula One cars. They're out of control. They go over 100 miles an hour. I would love to drive one though. I would totally love to drive one of those. My son's not much of a adrenaline junkie like I was when I was his age. My daughter though, she's 10 years old. She likes to. I mean, she horseback rides now, and when I take her to the local little go kart thing, she loves it. She's more of a rush seeker than my son. Oh, that's awesome. That's super cool, man. That must have been fun. My uncle, like I have my one uncle and my cousin have like some old cars. One's a '69 Camaro. It's got a 454, but it's like bored out. I don't know all the technical terms right, but it's got like 650 horsepower. I know that doesn't sound like much now, but back then when he got it, I mean, you couldn't touch that you couldn't touch that car at the track. And then his son has I think it's a '72 Nova, and it's tubbed. It's got the giant wheels in the back, and that thing's pushing over 600 horsepower, and then he's got a 300 shot of nitrous on that, and that car is just insanely. I mean, it's hard to drive on the street. It just wants to go straight. Can't even turn the damn car. Oh wow, dry clutch? No way. Yeah. Um, so yeah, drag racing's always been. I like watching it on TV sometimes, and there's a couple tracks that are within driving distance. We have an 8 mile drag strip near me, about 15 minutes near me, and then there's a quarter mile racetrack about an hour from me. But I want to do. I want to go. I think in Austin, Texas, down Yankees way there. They have the MotoGP, the American MotoGP race. I would love to go see those guys. Those motorcycles go over 200 miles an hour. I would love to see those guys live. Totally would love it. I love MotoGP and Formula One for that matter. I don't really do NASCAR. I can't. I don't know why. Maybe because they just drive in a circle for the most part. I mean, I really love the bikes and the Formula One cars though. But I always been a fan of racing. But yeah, oh, ran on methanol? No way, man. So yeah, you know your stuff then. You definitely know your stuff. How old are you, Don? If you don't, I mean, it's up to you if you want to tell me or not. If not, no big deal. I'm 42. When I crashed, I was 24. It was on my brother's birthday of all days when that happened. You know, and he felt, because he kept saying, I want to ride, you know, let's go ride. It's my birthday. Let's go ride. And I didn't want to go. I did not want to go. I told him, please, I don't feel like going today. And sure enough, I got the bug, you know, as soon as I started the bike up, I got the bug and that was it. We were gone. So there's a person walking by my house. I'm in my driveway now. And they have they're not even walking their dogs, but they have a full, like, neon, if I for a lack of a better thing or better word, it looks like he has neon suspenders on and it's blinking so people could see him as he's walking. He looks like a Martian. Yeah. Yeah. No, I love watching I've seen Top Fuel dragsters live. I've seen Funny Cars live. They rumble all the bones in your body. And you got to bring ear protection. You have to. Oh, 54. Okay. Oh man, you and Yanks are the same age. But I can't think. I could see the guy way down the road still. All the lights are blinking. I should have turned the camera on. Whoops. But I can't get into NASCAR at all. I can't. I don't know. It does nothing for me. You know, but like I said, I love watching the bikes. I don't even care if it's you know, the Moto 2 and Moto 3 or whatever, but I love watching the bikes. Did you crash a car or a motorcycle? This is what stinks about StreamYard is the comments, you know, your guys' comments take forever to come through. You know, if I'm at home on my laptop, I could see the comments like to the second from my, you know, if I go on YouTube on my cell phone. These ones are like delayed big time. But do you have any remaining vehicles that are super fast that you screw around with, Don, like as a hobby? I don't. All my money's in my sound system equipment and stuff, so that and it makes me money and it's paid off. So those are my toys now. Is all my DJ gear. I have fun with that. Yeah, I hear you. I remember I raced. I had this. I was going down this. It's like a 55 mile an hour like highway. Like it wasn't a throughway, but it was a busy road or whatever. And this Camaro was like a '69 Camaro. I remember it was bright yellow with black racing stripes. And he was revving up on everybody, just everybody. And like just even little stupid cars, he was revving his engine every time. I'm like, I'm behind him on my bike, So I pull up to him, and I'm in like fourth gear at like 50 miles an hour, just kind of putting. And I turned over, looked at him, put the clutch in, and just revved it up, you know, hit the rev limiter on him. And he's like, "You want to do this?" I said, "Let's go." I said, "You're revving up on everybody." And sure enough, I only geared down to third gear. So when he hit it, he took off. Like, and he had I wound up talking to him afterwards. He wound up having a supercharger on the car. And as soon as you hit the gas, the thing started whistling, and he took off. And when my bike finally decided to go, if I would have went down to second gear, I probably would have lifted the front end off the ground and kept right up with him. But it took me to about 120 miles an hour to go by the guy. I mean, I went by him like he was standing still, but I mean, it was my own fault. But I still feel like I beat him. So the fastest I ever went on my motorcycle, or any motorcycle for that matter, was 155 miles an hour. That's the most I topped out at. My bike probably had about another, I don't know, 10 miles an hour. It's a 600 cc, but I had a bunch of stuff done to it. So I probably could have went another 10 miles an hour, I'm guessing. But that was enough for me, man. That's tunnel vision. Like, Don, you should know. You would know. Over 100 miles an hour, everything turns tunnel vision. It's insane. Like, you don't see nothing from the sides or nothing. And what a feeling, man. What a feeling. Oh, you still have the drag car. That's cool. That's awesome, man. I'd love to see pictures or something like that. I think that'd be neat. Good for you, man. That's awesome. And, at some point, once my kids are growing or something, maybe I'll buy like a hot rod or some sort of toy again. I think that would be fun, just to, go cruising and go into car shows with my wife. I think she likes doing that stuff too. We just haven't done it in so long. When we first started dating, we go to car shows a lot. But, I love going to car shows. I used to go to them all the time when I had my car and then my motorcycle too. So I'd have to like flip a coin on which vehicle I wanted to take. Oh, no way. I love Ducatis, man. Wow. Oh my God. Yeah, Ducatis are awesome, and they're not cheap bikes, but man, they are such a sexy bike, man. That would probably be if I were to ever buy a motorcycle, it'd have to be like a Ducati for sure. For sure. My brother had a Honda CBR. I had an R6 Yamaha. My one cousin had a R1 Yamaha. That bike was just real freakish. Then my other friend had a CBR 954, and then most of my friends had the 750 GSXRs. Those bikes were fun too. I loved the way those bikes handled actually. But my Yamaha, my bike was just real snappy, like 25 miles an hour, and you hit the gas, it comes off the ground. It was just, and now these bikes are fuel injected. So you got like different modes, like the cars, like you can put it in race mode, you put it in whatever mode, like it's all different with the electronics. Like, I don't know. I'm glad I had my fun. Oh yeah, Nova drag car? No way. Yeah, my cousin's got two of them. He's got one that he drives on the street for the most part. It's not tubbed, but it's still got a 454 in it. And then his other one, I think the one I was talking about, that's tubbed with the 300 shot of nitrous. That one's more or less his race car. Okay, yeah, I'll definitely look that up. You know what? I'll take a screenshot of that right now. I'll definitely look that up, man. That's cool. Yeah, I love going to car shows. I haven't been able to do stuff like that in so long, man. You know, with especially when I'm DJing on the weekends, I sleep in, and you know, and a lot of stuff during the week I can't go to anyways because I work at in the evening. So, but I definitely miss all that stuff. I enjoy doing all that stuff, or just even cruising for that matter. Oh wow, okay, yep. The CBRs were nice. My one friend in Florida had an F4i CBR, and that thing I drove better wheelies on that thing down I-4 in Florida than I could drive on my own motorcycle up here that I was so used to. I drove better wheelies on that bike that I never drove in my life. And down there, you don't have to wear a helmet, so that was I don't know, man. I was such a dumbass doing 90 miles an hour on one wheel with no helmet on down route or I-4. That's insane. But see, I think all the CCs and all the stuff is different where you are. Oh my God, 996 cubic inch. That's insane. That's like a Caterpillar engine, a loader engine. Yeah, yeah. I can't wait to check that out. I'll check that out once I get in the house. Um, yeah, yeah, I definitely want to get some sort of hot rod or something when you know, once my kids are gone or out of the house, or I could save some crazy money again. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, like I said, it's fun. Like I said, you see a lot of the same people at the car shows. It's always usually the same cars, but still, even so, it's just the atmosphere, and it's just fun to do. It's relaxing as long as everybody stays cool. But probably gonna shut her down in about 5 minutes so I can go in and get a head start. Get a head start on making lunches, and that way I don't gotta hurry like crazy when I get in the house. So um, that's cool, Don. We talk and break balls with each other every single day. We never knew we had a lot of the same hobbies in common. That's awesome. I'm glad I came on and we got to talk like this. It's bad I was talking about crashes and stuff like that, but I think this was a pretty good little show talking about this kind of stuff. I love it. Oh yeah, yeah. Big blocks definitely lots of power. Yeah, you don't. But you know what? I think a lot of the drag racers are. Like you see that show Street Outlaws. They're all using small blocks. With the big turbos on it. So I don't really know. I guarantee 1,500 times more than I do about engines and stuff like that. Yeah, Stiggs, it was pretty good, man. It was pretty good. I never thought I'd be talking about motorcycles and cars. I'm glad I did. Yeah, Don. One of these days, if I get your email or somehow we hook up, I'll show you my old bike and my old car and my sweet mini bike I got in the garage right now. I'm actually restoring a 1969 Trail Horse mini bike. I'm still on the hunt for some of the parts, but I could still build it. I still have the original frame, the fenders, uh, and I don't have the Tecumseh engine for it, but I do have a 4-horse Briggs and Stratton motor that was made in 1969 as well. So the motor and the frame the years will be the same, but it's really hard to find the original parts for that kind of stuff now, or it costs a fortune. But I think I'm gonna, if I had time this summer, I'm rebuilding that one too. So I did co-train. It's so weird. I was outside. We had a kind of a slow night at work, and I went outside where I parked my car, and I shut the Wi-Fi off just to make sure like that didn't happen to me again. I did it like 3 times tonight or overnight, and and I was I was like, oh, it works. But just to be safe, I went and got gas, and then I went on StreamYard. So nothing to do with my bill, you bastard. That stuff gets auto deducted. So yeah, no doubt, Stiggs. No doubt. I okay, yeah, that makes sense, Don. Co-train, you're late, man. You're late. Now I might have to extend the show by 5 minutes because you showed up. But yeah, I don't think we got as many people in the chat this morning, but that's okay. I think we did. I think we did pretty good, and it was a good conversation. Co-train, how you doing, man? Still grinding, dude? I was thinking about you before I left work. I had a full truck full of avocados for Wegmans. We store a lot of the local avocados for Wegmans at our warehouse. They bring them in, we put them in our cooler, and they order them as needed. Yankees is in transition for his work hours, so he's sleeping right now. Okay, all right, Don. Yeah, you know that stuff's big money now, racing and all the add-ons for the cars and stuff like that. That's big money, man. You got to have money if you want to have fun these days. That goes for anything. Everything's expensive. Everything is insanely expensive. Oh, if only Yankees were here to try to defend himself with you, Co-Train. I don't know how successful he would be, but I'm laughing. Oh man, I got like a mini fro right now. I look like a blonde Don King right now. My hair, it's all over the place. Can't wait to get it cut. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out when to take my personal days and my vacation days. You know, being on nights, it's harder to get fully what you want because, you know, all the people who've been there tenured or whatever, I don't know, it gets messy. Yeah, you're right, Co-Train. That's a thing, you see all this stuff on TV now, like these street racers. They got basically $100,000 drag racing cars on a TV show that they race on the road with. It's insane. Now they made a show where now they're making a show and they're racing where you can only have so many mods now. But yeah, I mean it's when I had my Honda Civic way back when is when people were starting to put turbos in their cars. You know what I mean? Like I was all set to buy a turbo. I think it was a Greddy T3 turbo for my car, and then I bought the motorcycle. I bought the crotch rocket. So, I believe that. I believe that all day long, Don. Totally believe that. Hey, if I wasn't married and didn't have 2 kids, man, I might be able to have fun doing that kind of stuff. I don't know if I'd still be here, but the motorcycle crash woke me up, man. I was done. I was done. That's how close it came, man. Like I walked away from that one pretty much, and like I said, I got a nice size scar across my belly, but other than that, I walked away for the most part. I got lucky. So, but it's crazy here. I think it's like I don't know. It's got to be like 40 degrees now. Saturday it was like 4 degrees. The weather here is crazy. Oh, really? I saw a video. Some guy. What? It was a G body. It was a Cutlass. It wasn't a Grand National, but it was a Cutlass, and the guy made it all wheel drive, Co-Train. So he was burning out with all four wheels, and all wheel drive on a drag track. You don't skid off the line. The cars just like leap. That's why a lot of people, like when I was into that scene, they were souping up their all-wheel drive Subarus, and they were just destroying people because they had all-wheel drive. They weren't spinning their tires at the starting line. They were just gone. The car just leaps and they were gone. Zio Lesso, what's happening? How you doing? Thanks for stopping by. And it figures every time I say, "Oh, I'm gonna shut the show down soon," like people start coming in. If anybody's just coming in, me and Don and now Co-Train Stiggs talking about the glory days of our youth and racing and motorcycles and cars and car shows and stuff like that. Zio, you've probably been around since the Model A, where you'd have to crank the car up. So, you probably got a little bit of input for that. Or maybe horse and carriage, Zio. I don't know. But, yeah. Now I got a sweet minivan that I drive all my business equipment around with, and my grocery getter with the kids. But I love this damn thing. Yeah, I know, Co-Train. I'm real famous for that. Super. Yep, that's right. That's right, Don. And they're hard to come by. Those are hard to come by, the Grand Nationals. But you do see them around. You do see them around. I don't know. I don't know what I'd want to get if I were to buy like a hot rod or something. I love the Chevelles, like the 70, 71, 72 Chevelles. I love those cars. My uncle had one growing up. I love that car. But I don't know. Don, that's something Ralph would say. You're as old as you feel. Stop it. No, you're right. You're right, Co-Train. They're definitely worth big money, man. But I've also wanted to get like an old truck too, like an old truck and rebuild it, or that's what I said, horse and carriage. I don't know. One of these days, I'll get something fun again. But for now, I have all my speakers and loud music, so I still have fun. I still have toys that make me money. Actually, cars cost money. But all right, guys, I think I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm sorry you just came in, Zio. I've been on for about an hour, I think. Yeah, a little under an hour, so probably an hour. I'm glad I came on. It was fun. I'm glad my phone actually decided to work for me, and because if it happened 3 days in a row, Co-Train would embarrass me. Oh, you're a Ford guy, huh, Co-Train? Oh, okay. I don't know. I've had either really good luck with Fords or really bad luck with Fords. Never nothing between, man. So I don't know. I'm not much of a Ford guy. Sorry, but hey, all power to you, man. Yep, those are nice. Those are real nice. Um, yeah. Oh yeah, Zio. I definitely remember that. I remember my uncle had an old Chevy. I think it was a C10. I think that's what they're called, a C10, and it had the shifter on the column. I remember that. Yep, definitely did. There was cars. They had a bunch of cars that were had the column shifter. I never got to. I always wanted to drive one. I'd love to drive one of those. Never got to drive one of those though. Yeah, no, you're right, Cotrain. There's so much plastic and electronics and stupid bullshit in these newer cars. Yeah, it's you know, now it's made they make them impossible to work on too. You have to bring them to the dealers now. It's all a racket. The older cars you can work on your own and do what you got to do. You know what I mean? You could do basic maintenance with no real hard. Now these newer cars, man, the freaking oil to drain the oil, you got to take the engine out. It's crazy. But all right, guys, I'm gonna roll out. I'm sorry. I've been on for an hour. I got to get in the house and start the next half of my morning here. And thank you for everybody that came in. Zio Lesso, Don, Coat Train, Tommy Stiggs, Spencer was here a little while ago. Trying to scroll and see if anybody else. I don't want to miss anybody. Just a small chat today, but I think we did good. I think we had a good conversation, and I really appreciate you guys as always. And I'll try to be here tomorrow morning. So everybody, please have a great day. Have a productive day. And I'm gone. Over and out.